Applying for a scholarship through the Community Foundation of Northern Illinois is simple because one application matches you with all of the scholarships you're eligible for. We have over 80 different scholarships available this year. You can see all of them listed at cfnil.org/scholarships. If you scroll down to the bottom of the page, you'll see a list of every single thing we have available. If you click on the name of that scholarship, it will tell you the exact criteria for that scholarship, such as where your permanent residence is, what school you went to, what you're planning on studying, etc. We do recommend that you look through each one just so before you apply, so you know exactly what you are eligible for and you know how much time it's going to take you. So once you are ready, you hit the Apply Now button, which is on the side of every scholarship page and at the top of every page of the CFNIL.org website. That will take you to our web portal. Now, this web portal is used for everything, including applying for grants and scholarships. So you need to register. Provide us your contact information, including a password, which should be 6 to 8 characters long and not include any special characters like an @ or an exclamation point. You accept the terms and conditions, and you choose your portal access. Only choose scholarship applicant. If you choose any of these other options, they will request an organization for you to be related with, and you won't have that as a scholarship applicant. So make sure that you don't choose anything else. Also provide your personal information, and we ask that you do that at this point and use proper punctuation and capitalization because it's what automatically transfers to your application. Once you hit register, it will send you an automatic email stating with a confirmation code. You'll enter in that confirmation code and it will that you'll only have to do that once. That'll give you access to the web portal. Make sure you check your spam folder. Once you're ready, you click login, type in your email address and your password. That takes you to the scholarship page. You'll only see the scholarship applicants menu. The scholarship applicant's home includes 3 different options. The alerts, which tells you still have things to do. The saved applications, which is things that you started and want to come back to, and the available applications. There's only one. You only fill out one application no matter which scholarship you're applying for, because there may be many more that you do qualify for. So when you're starting the application, you'll click scholarship application and it'll take you to a blank one. We're going to use a completed one for the purpose of this demonstration. So if you go to search show all, that will give you an option of, it'll show you every single scholarship that you have available. And you'll click one, just click there to get access the application. The first tab you'll see is instructions. They're quite long, however, they include everything you might need to know about the scholarship. So please do read through these and reference back to them if you have any questions during the process. Some quick helpful hints. Save early and often. The system will log you out after about 10 minutes of inactivity. And it won't give you a warning. So anything that hasn't been saved since when you're logged out is gone. We can't get it back. So make sure you save constantly. And make sure that you navigate using the buttons within the program. So exit, save, down at the bottom you'll see next, save. Use those rather than your browser buttons just because it has less of a chance to mess up. So you can use next to navigate, but you can also click on the tabs. So there are 6 different tabs. The first one's your contact information. You'll see here these stars or asterisks. That means that is mandatory. You need to fill out that question. There's also these question marks, and those have specific instructions for that question, such as just so you know, the social security number that we ask for is just so we can use that when we're communicating with the schools, things like that. So when you're navigating from tab to tab, you can either click on the tab or this next button down at the bottom. So these are all, we ask for information regarding your academic status, where you're going, things like that. The tricky part here is your primary field of study. There's no way to list every single major. So under primary field of study, those are things you should think of as your overarching school. So say you're going to study marketing. That's going to be within the School of Business. So type in, click business, and then down here, type in marketing. If you're going to be studying something like education, for example, you can choose up to 3 different options. So if you're going to study secondary education to teach math, you're going to want to make sure that you choose everything that's applicable. So, for example, you're going to choose education, then you're going to choose secondary education, and to make sure that you click that, or to click multiple options, you hit Control and then click on it. Because you're going to teach math, also choose mathematics. You can choose up to 3 here. And then type in here, secondary math education. And then what follows are some questions that seem oddly specific, but they're really just because you have we have scholarships that are related to those applications, or related to those questions. You'll also need to provide an academic verification. So this is probably going to be your counselor's office, but it could be the principal's office, it could be the registrar. You need to contact them to find out who can confirm what you tell us about your GPA. So for example, if you're going to put in your counselor's name, their email address, and their school, you don't have to do this unless you've graduated within the last 5 years. And once you're completely done with the scholarship, then they will get an automatic email asking them to fill out a form. This is the same process as your recommendations. Okay, so if you have attended any college courses, click yes here. We just need your GPA and the school you've attended, as well as a transcript. If you've attended, only taken dual credit courses and through your high school, and that's reflected on your high school transcript, you can just attach that transcript instead. Again, it needs to be a PDF and only 5 megabytes. If you are not taking classes, you just click no. And that is an example of a contingent question. So if there are questions that seem to not appear that you need to do, you feel like there's something missing, make sure you've answered every question because they may appear later. However, if the question doesn't appear, you don't have to answer it. And then the next section is your personal history. This is where you give us information about your activities and things like that. And then your financial data. This is where you provide the EFC. So that's the estimated family contribution that you get in your FAFSA. Even if you think that you don't qualify for anything need-based, if your FAFSA is if your EFC is really high, still give us that information, because there are many scholarships that take your financial need into consideration, but they don't. That may not be the most important factor, but if you don't provide that information, you won't be eligible for that scholarship. So we strongly recommend you click yes here. You can use your 2014 tax information, but you will be required to provide your updated information if you get a scholarship. So if you can wait, we recommend you do that. The information you need to provide is your student aid report, which is what you get after your FAFSA has been processed. You can submit your FAFSA confirmation page or an estimated EFC using this calculator, but again, you'll have to provide that student aid report later. So if you can wait, do that. And then we ask some quick demographic information. A lot of these do have scholarships related to them. Once you certify that it's true, then you hit next, and that takes you to the recommendations page. Now you need to provide 2 recommendations. We do have the option to add a third, but only use that if you need to. Be mindful of some of the scholarships that require a specific person, like a music instructor or a coach, to act as your reference. You will not be able to edit this once you submit, so you need to make sure that you know that ahead of time. You can see that at the website again or the next page. So you provide their contact information, and when you submit, they get a form sent to them that they need to fill out. Unfortunately, we can't accept letters. They need to submit this particular form. So once you're all done, you hit Select Scholarships, and it takes you to the matching page, and it shows you exactly the scholarships that you are eligible for. So you can see here the criteria as well. If there's a specific request or a specific scholarship you need to, or specific reference you need to provide for that scholarship, it will say that in capital letters at the top. So if you haven't got the right person, you can hit cancel. If you need to edit anything, hit cancel, and it will take you back to your menu where you can access the saved application. But otherwise, click on all the applications you plan on applying for and hit submit. And at this point, it creates new applications for you. And so there's a separate application for each scholarship. So it'll give you a warning here, more information required. That takes you back to this saved application section where you can see here's a scholarship that has an addendum. So you can see the fund is listed here. And so these are branched off of the scholarship that you previously applied for, or branched off the main application that you previously filled out. So you'll hit scholarship application. It takes you back to the main page. You can see that these are no longer editable. You can't change it. But there is an extra tab added, which is where you put in your essay. Once you're done with that, then you hit submit, and emails are automatically sent to your recommenders and your academic advisors. And you're done. So you hit save and exit. And that takes you back to your main page. Now, if you want to follow up with your references, click here, and you can see which references have been sent to. So this reference has already been completed, but these have not. They were sent on these dates, and you can see that the email is editable. So if you have entered the wrong email in here, now you can resend it. But make sure you follow up that they received it, because it often does go into the spam folder. CFNIL has no way to tell you that a reference hasn't been received, so you need to be following up with your recommenders to make sure that they've filled out this form before March 8th. And if you have any questions, you can always contact the Community Foundation. Our contact information is on our website as well as the first page of the application.